Hi, I'm Nikita Ross, and we have a double dose of Diva today. Earlier, we had Dr. Arisha Hilliard, and now I'm sitting with the Carla Lane of of Lane Staffing
Right.
and This Woman's Work.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. I'm so excited to have Carla here today because she is one of the sponsors for the movement. I sat down with Carla for lunch and said, Carla, I have this idea. I want to do this thing. I've never done it before, but I think it's going to be major. She said, I'm in. It was that simple, that easy.
Right.
And, Carla really, really believes in this woman's work.
Right.
Working together, collaborating, reaching back,
Right.
reaching forward. I love that about Carla. She's really forced to be reckoned with, and she really walking like she talking. Really walking like she talking. Because a lot of times people say things, the actions on the line with the words.
Yeah.
And I can definitely say from the first encounter, your actions and words have a line.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
No, I mean that. I mean that.
That's a big compliment. That's the intention, but it's good to hear that it happens.
When it happens with strangers,
Mm-hmm.
when it happens with strangers, you know it's natural. You know it's real. We do that with family, friends, but our first encounter, you didn't know me from Adam, and you still were very receptive, very open, and willing to share, and that means a lot. That means a lot, seriously, because a lot of times people say things, they mean something totally different.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the future is female. Yesterday we had a big election.
Yes.
Big midterm election, and even though some of my favorites didn't win, we really came out with a lot of winners yesterday.
A lot of winners.
We had a lot of winners yesterday. I was sad about Georgia,
Yeah.
Florida, and Beto.
Yeah.
I really was. But shout out to the 19 new African-American judges in Harris County.
That is amazing.
Not one of them lost.
Amazing.
We showed up and we showed out. They said we didn't vote, but we did.
We did. We did. And I think there's some misunderstanding when we look at percentages. And my background is accounting and finance. And so I know the power of division. You could divide something by something and make it look like what you want it to look like. But people came out and voted.
They did, because that could have happened.
It would not have happened. And voted in an era where we know there's voter suppression. And they still won. And there's a lot of firsts all over the country. New York, the district attorney.
Yes.
That's a first.
Boston. Connecticut.
Muslim women. Women of different faiths. There was, I think, a Native American woman. So it's amazing to be the mother of a daughter and to be able to point to all these examples of, girl, you better get it, and we had that conversation yesterday, and I was telling her, this is your time. What I want for you is to be 19 years old and to everything that you dream of, try. Try. If you think for a second that might be an option, I want you to try and just be fearless. Be fearless. And here's the thing, fearless, fearless. Don't be afraid because nobody's done it before. Because you might be the one that is the reason another little girl knows that she can. So just get it. I'm standing behind you. That's the era that we live in.
The time is now. You're right.
The time is now.
The time is now. I mean, just look at Congress.
It's amazing.
100 women.
And Maxine Waters, the seat that she now finds herself in. So it's amazing when you know that, when you see someone go through turmoil and the hate that was directed at her. And then she emerges to sit in a seat where she can make some decisions that will affect the very people that were throwing mud at her. So I cannot wait at all.
Oh,
I cannot wait. It's about to go down.
It is. So you have this big event this weekend.
Yes. This weekend is Stilettos and Champagne. It is our annual fundraiser for This Woman's Work. We're raising funds to support our programming. The program is Stepping Into Strength, which is our girls mentoring program. We mentor girls at Madison High School, meet the second Saturday. They have college coaches. We present them with information, different topics, take them on trips, take them out. Some of the girls have told us the only time they've left their neighborhood is when they left with us. Wow. But we do, and we're 4 years in. So we've got girls that are in college that we're supporting, scholarships that we give out. We bought them laptops. And then we have Iron Woman Mentoring, which is our women's mentoring program. The concept of iron sharpening iron is where Iron Women comes from. We know that when you get some powerful ladies together, just like you're doing here, magic happens because iron sharpens iron.
Yes.
And then we have Carla's Closet. Carla's Closet is something that I love, which is we dress
Fashion.
women for work. Yes, it's clothes and shoes and purses, earrings. We dress women for work. But then annually we do a prom dress drive. So this past year we raised 1,000 dresses for girls at HISD. And in 2019 we are again going to raise dresses in Houston, but we're going to Dallas, my hometown,
Come on,
to get some dresses for my people in D-Town. And then we're going to Iberville, Louisiana. Iberville, Louisiana. My daddy's from Louisiana. We have an iron woman who is from Louisiana, and she wants to impact her community. So we road tripping to Iberville to do the prom dress drive and to start a branch of Stepping into Strength in Iberville. And the last and the newest program is the Sewing Circle, which is my love child right now because it's a book club. We partner with the Houston Public Library to put together a book club, and the Sewing Circle is SOWING, and we're doing a play on words with sewing circles of old, where women got together under the guise of sewing and quilting, but they talked about politics and the abolitionist movement and the women's suffrage movement. There was magic happening in those circles. So we're going to create magic at the Houston Public Library with women reading these books, and then read with our girls in high school and have our high school girls read with middle schoolers, because we know that there is magic in a story. It teaches you to dream. It teaches you to think. It gives you wisdom, gives you things to talk about. So we want to give the gift of literacy to our women and our girls, and that's what Stilettos is about. Now, it's a fun event. We honor people, amazing people in the community. Of course, we have a shoe fashion show. Everybody that knows me knows I love a good shoe. And I love champagne, so that's where the name comes from. So
Stilettos and champagne.
Stilettos and champagne. It's a cute idea, but it's serious business that we're doing. We're just having fun while we're doing it, and we're doing it in a girly way because I'm a girly girl, but I'm committed to making the lives of women and girls better because I've been so fortunate. And I think that it is my responsibility to give it back, give it away. I always say that one of the reasons why I believe that God blessed the way he did in my business is so I could give it away, so that I could support people. And as long as I'm a good steward, stuff happens, and I don't even know how I end up in some of the situations I end up, but I know it's God because I'm attempting to be a good steward. And so that's why that would mean so much that you would say that, because that is my intention, is to be a good steward of my resources, whether it's my time, my money, access to people, whatever it is. I think that is what we have to do when you have any measure of success, is you got to put yourself in a position to give it away so that it doesn't die with you.
So you have Lane Staffing.
Lane Staffing is the for-profit business.
That's the for-profit business. But I hear your energy and your excitement when we talk about this woman's work.
Yes.
And I say that because, like for me, I do hair for a living, and I love 360, love my clients, love my staff. But it's something different when I put on that icon hat.
Yeah.
You see I have my icon on today, but it's something different because we have a big project going on Saturday morning, a teen summit.
Oh, awesome.
We have a teen summit going on at University of Houston.
Oh, that's my school.
Because that's my alma mater as well. We realized that some kids never, ever step foot on a college campus.
Right.
Ever.
Right.
And we just want to create that experience and plant that seed.
And it's so important. We have one of the girls we mentor who she wants to be a chef, and she was talking about going to Japan, and we were like, okay, so we're not going to ever tell you what you cannot do, but let's figure out something that is reasonable that you can do once you graduate, because Japan might be 2-3 years from now. So we found a program at U of H, the hotel and restaurant management program, and sent her. And that was during the summer. She has not stopped talking about U of H. She's excited. She met people like her that were interested, met professors. That exposure, she's different. And she's got a goal that's realistic. She's got something that she's working to. She's a senior now. Applications in, all of that, because exposure. So that's so amazing.
And that's what it's about. But I listen to your passion.
Oh,
I
love
about
it.
Community. And it's just different. It's just different. And even though it's a nonprofit, the riches and the wealth that you receive by helping others are unmeasurable.
Right.
You can't even compare.
You cannot.
You can't compare it. And I know for me, I don't get paid.
No.
I don't get paid from this. A lot of times,
but you get paid.
We dig in our pocket.
You get
but
paid
it's
with
so
your
worth
heart.
it.
Yeah, you get paid.
A lot
with
of times
the
I'm
other
moonlighting. I'm getting off of work at 9, and I'm iconing from 9 to 2 a.m.
Wow.
They're like, why are you sending me emails in the middle of the night? Because I got to get it in.
Right.
Because even though I cannot be there 40 hours a week, I'm still treating it like a corporation because
Right.
one day we're gonna be big.
Right.
We're gonna be big like Susan G. Komen.
Ah,
We're gonna be big like the Red Cross. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Where we're able to touch the lives of thousands, not just hundreds,
right.
thousands, tens of thousands.
Yeah.
So just to hear your excitement resonate, I mean, I can hear it because I feel the same way about Icon.
Yeah. It's what I love. And I really, again, when we set a model that we build businesses and then we use those businesses to better our community, that's historically what we do. You know, if you look at our story, the stories of our communities, it's the people that have succeeded that you have to make a way for other people if a community is to succeed. You don't succeed and walk away.
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't. Shame on you
shouldn't.
if you do.
There are a lot of people who do, but those
Shame on
people
them.
like you who really, really push forward and influence others to do it, because whether you know this or not, you are an influencer, and influencers are a big deal, and we can make people buy a bag, a shoe, or give back.
Right.
You know, so it's how do you use your influence?
Right.
How do you use your power?
Right.
And what is your why?
Yes.
Your why.
Yes.
Why am I here? Why am I doing this? Why do I want you to follow me?
Mm-hmm.
Why am I trying to influence you to tag along?
Right.
You know, the why. And we talked about literacy.
Yes.
And we talked about reading. And one of my new books that I'm reading is Start With Why. Start With Why. And I just was on a plane yesterday. I fell asleep, but I read the intro, and the intro was so powerful. It says, Start With Why, how great leaders inspire everyone to take action. And it talked about Martin Luther King.
Mm-hmm.
You know, intro. How did Martin Luther King get 250,000 people to march on Washington? No social media, no text, no email, no cell phone, but the power of the why.
Mm-hmm.
Because what he was doing was he was so passionate about it, and it meant so much to him. He was able to influence other people to share that and branch out.
Right.
And I was like, wow. We understand Martin Luther King's story. We know he's a major deal. But when they put it in context, no cell phone, no website, no social media, and he got it done.
Right.
And so now realize the fact that we have these tools, these resources. There's no reason why we should not be able to do and reach out and influence
Right.
and do a magnitude of work, not just a little work, a huge magnitude of work.
Right. 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 And it was the passion. You know, you can feel the passion behind those speeches and those writings, even when you read them or when you hear them. The passion is there. And when you said that, I thought about when he said, you want to stand on the right side of history. That's how big. Mm-hmm. And even now, that's how big this is, because we want to make sure as women that have been given success and, like you said, influence and a platform, that we use it on the right side of history, that it makes the lives of the people that we love and the people that they love and the people that they love better. Or what was it for?
It's all about legacy building for me. You know, when I leave this place called Earth, you know, and when I go to heaven or go to another place, it's about, what do you remember? What legacy did I leave? Did you remember me just being cute? Or do you remember me helping you out?
Right.
Sowing seeds,
Right.
inspiring you, motivating you, reaching back and pulling you up, encouraging you, saying positive things to you when you thought you couldn't do it anymore.
Right.
That's what it's about. Those kind of stories I want people to tell about me.
Definitely.
When I'm gone.
Definitely.
Not that she had a big smile and she was always giggling. That's nice too.
Yeah.
But I really want to leave a legacy behind where I did what I could though.
Right. Right. And that really is what legacy is about. It is about how you made people feel, and did you leave people better after they met you? Like, were they better? Did they know more? Did they have more access? How did you influence their lives? And so that's, you know, when I think about my dad a lot, who's been in heaven for 3 years, but at his service they said, if he was responsible for you getting a Graduate degree, stand up. And there were like literally hundreds of people that stood up. That's legacy. My family did not financially profit from him making sure that those people got an education, but my community did. And that's the kind of legacy I think about, is that there are people who are touched by the fact that he touched people and made sure they had an education, so they're able to possibly positively impact other people's lives. It's big like that. You know, my sister and brother and I always say we them lanes, because it's in our DNA. Service is in our DNA. This is what we were born for. I don't know nothing else to do.
So this woman's work. We
This
talked
Woman's
about
Work.
it before the show aired. You talked about this woman's work. It's different because there's
Yes.
some jobs that. Shout out to your dad though for having hundreds of people get a graduate degree.
Yeah.
But you said there's some work that only women.
Yeah, that's really where the name of the organization came from. Saturday morning, I'm out thinking about what I want to do, and I got my laptop and I'm doing my thing, and the song was out. Wasn't paying attention to the words, but the chorus is about this woman's work. And when I think about it, I don't think about cleaning up and, when they used to say in the 50s and 60s, woman's work. I think about the work that needs to be done on the world and what's happening now in our country and how women are leading the charge, particularly women of color, are leading the charge to correct the wrongs in the world, because women are, in my estimation, the moral compass. We are the steadier. We are the compassion. We are the nurturer. And to me, that's woman's work. What's woman's work? Woman's work is if I have information and it can be beneficial to you, I share it. Woman's work is mentoring. I built a business. If there's a woman trying to build one, woman's work is saying, hey, here's my banker, here's my PR person, here's my IT people. That's woman's work, because I understand some things that are going to be unique to you as a woman, and some roads that you're going to travel, and how that's going to impact your life. How's it going to impact your personal life? Because that impact is different for a woman who is a CEO. It's different. And I can candidly tell you what it may cost you. And I'm not talking about the money, but that success may cost you. And you have to sit down and decide if you want to pay that cost. That's woman's work.
It is because, when a man goes to work, it's just different.
He go to work and then he come home and he eat and go to sleep.
But when a woman work, it's like she has to be on 100 when she gets off. You've been on 100 all day, but when you get home, you have to be on 100. And sometimes the sacrifice may be your family. It may be your spouse. That may be the cost that you pay to be the successful CEO. And so we talked about it earlier. We talked about how do you balance it all? And you said, I don't.
No.
And I bust out laughing. I started laughing at you and I said, I understand, because I thought that she was coming on at 1 and she really was supposed to come on at 2. But it just shows you just like we're just trying to get it all in. And sometimes we're crazy and chaotic. No matter how organized you try to be, you try to write it down, you try to put it in your phone. And I'm like, okay, we're just going to roll with it.
Yeah.
But that's life.
You keep going.
Sometimes you don't even know how you're going to get it done, but it gets done.
It gets done.
But I think that goes back to the anchor, believing in God, having a solid foundation, knowing that, what, God, even if I don't get it all done, it's going to be okay.
And then you give yourself grace. I was sharing with you the book, The 4 Agreements, and one of the 4 agreements is that you do your best every day. But what that means is your best on a Saturday might be you got to brush your teeth, wash your face, ate breakfast, and lay back down. But your best on Tuesday may be that you had 5 meetings, you closed 2 deals, you cooked dinner for your kid, played with them, and read them a bedtime story. Because your best varies based on where you are. And you give yourself grace to just be your best. And then you get rid of all the guilt of what you didn't do and this wasn't good enough, because you did your best, and your best varies.
How do you get to the point where you get rid of the guilt? Because that's true. I mean, how do you get to a point where you don't feel guilty, you don't feel bad, when you reach that level of confidence and maturity and self-love? Because you do. My grandmother lived with me. So days that I stay at home and stay in bed all day, I say, I feel so bad. I didn't get nothing done. And it takes for her to come in the room and say, you needed this rest.
Right.
You needed this. Whatever you were supposed to do today, do it tomorrow. You needed this. But for me, a lot of times, if I'm not doing something, I feel like I wasted the day. I wasn't productive.
But you have to take care of yourself.
You do.
You know, and I always think about, people say that about the airplane and putting the oxygen on yourself before your child. But it really, really, really is true. Because your children, your husband, whoever you take care of, they are better when you are better. If you are broken, your children can be very young, but they know it. I always say, I think that everybody needs to go see a therapist at least once or twice a year, if you don't need to go every week or whatever. And that therapist might be a licensed therapist. It might be a minister. It might be a mentor that you trust. But you got to go and spill that stuff, or it goes falling all over the place and all over people that don't have nothing to do with why you mad. Go talk to somebody. And I've told people, look, let me give you a number, because you're not mad at me. I know what that looks like because I've been that person, just ticked off. But it's because so much, and we do so much,
We
and
take
then we
on
don't,
so much.
and we don't take care of
Yeah, we
ourselves.
take on so much, and then not only do we take on it, we just kind of hoard it.
We hoard it, and we think we have to be the strong
We
friend.
do.
And it's so funny, you see that stuff on Facebook and Instagram. It says nobody checks on the strong friend. Well, being a strong friend, did you tell anybody you need any help? Because you look fine.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, we want friends that check on us, to ask, are you okay, and wait for the answer. But I think that as women, we have to, again, be fearless enough to say that sometimes I'm not okay. And it doesn't mean that I'm not successful, I'm a failure. It just means that hurt me, this hurt me, I'm disappointed. I'm not going to stay that way, but that's where I am today.
Yeah. I'm human.
Yeah. And I'm not afraid that I may be judged, because if that person I share that with judges me or shares it, they're the wrong person. Just tell somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's growth.
That's growth.
That's growth, though. Getting to that point and being able to be vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
being able to be transparent when you're supposed to be the superhero all the time. When you're that friend, that daughter, that family member, the rock that everybody depends on. And so when you're that rock, it's hard to be soft.
Right.
It's hard to be soft, but sometimes
You have to
You
be
have to.
for your own sanity,
You do.
and to be productive, to be able to do all that you were put on earth to do. You have to be healthy mentally, and mental health is something we don't talk about in our community, but it's real. And we have to take care of ourselves, and we have to not be ashamed of needing to take care of ourselves, because that's how, for me, that's how I feel truly confident, because I'm clear. I'm clear on who I am. I'm clear on not needing affirmation. I'm clear on so many things that a decade ago, even 5 years ago, I was not clear on, and was succeeding like crazy because I planned my career, but just lived. And you got to plan your personal life. And just like you take a vacation from your career, sometimes you need to deuce out on your personal life for a day or two. Even if it's just laid in the bed, stared at the TV. You just need a minute. And that's okay. That's okay. Go sit by the pool or something. Do something. Read a book. Start with why.
No, you're right. You're right. And you know what I can honestly say? Every time I go on vacation, I come back so recharged and ready.
Mm-hmm.
People would think like, oh, you've been gone 3 days, you lost productivity. It's like I come back on fire.
Right.
Like recharged, ready.
You have time to think and to create. One of the things I used to do, and I promised myself in December, I'm going back to going to the gym every morning for at least an hour, hour and a half, and I would get on the treadmill, and I wasn't running fast, but I was just on the treadmill with my headphones on, and I had some of the best thoughts, to the point where I started making notes and talking into my phone, because I would think of amazing things to do, because I wasn't so bogged down in what's next. That's how you create. That's how you plan the next moves in your business, or the next moves in your lives. If you give yourself space to be quiet and to be peaceful.
And be in the moment.
Yes, and to hear.
Because a lot of times we're not in that moment.
You're on the next thing.
And that's why we can't hear. Because we're so focused on what's next. And we're so distracted, we can't hear.
You don't even. And the other thing that I've learned is that you have to celebrate the good stuff and not just head into the next thing. I look back on, I turned 46 in September. I look back on
September what?
September 7th.
Okay.
Number of completion. That's the nerd in me. But I look back, and I spent most of my 30s and all of my 40s building a business. And I didn't celebrate a lot of the amazing things that happened. I was just going to the next thing, because then you got to keep going. You got to keep the momentum, all of that stuff. And so one of the things I've decided to do is to celebrate the good stuff and be good with it, because I'm proud of me. And that's not, to be braggadocious, but I really am proud of me, because I know me. I know where I came from, and I know what I've endured, and I know what I've survived, and I'm proud of me. And that's a good place to be. And I would want every woman to be proud of herself, because of the fact that she's still here. You survived. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Carla has so much insight, so much knowledge. I'm so excited about her being the sponsor, one of the sponsors for the Fearless Female Retreat. But I'm also excited because she doesn't know this yet. I'm about to throw this on her. But I want her to be a panelist.
Oh, wow.
I want you to be a
love
panelist.
that.
Yes, because you have so much to share. And I think you really will inspire the women at the retreat and just set their souls on fire. Just pouring those type of positive words and scenarios and stories. I think they can definitely benefit from that. So I'm put on the spot. She's a panelist for the luncheon at the retreat. But thank you for just, just wanting to be a part of it behind the scenes. But your story needs to be shared in the forefront.
Thank you.
You're doing some amazing work. You're doing some amazing things. And I'm watching you, sis. Keep it up, and no, you definitely have to celebrate those milestones, celebrate those accomplishments. And it's not about being braggadocious.
No.
I think sometimes we're so focused on the next thing, we just kind of run through that red light.
Yeah.
And sometimes we need to stop at the red light.
Yeah, and savor it.
Yeah, savor it, relish in that moment.
Yeah.
So just, I tell people all the time, life is a constant evolution, always learning. We always being educated.
Right.
New developments and new things that we just need to take on. And for me, I realize that I need to take on less.
Yeah.
Less.
You need to read The Year of Yes. It's going to be so powerful for you. It's going to...
The Year of Yes.
Yes.
I have to take on less. I keep saying declutter is my word because, the funny thing about it is my house is clean, my shop is clean, but my mind is cluttered. Because I have so many things going on in my mind. So just getting clarity, clearing up my headspace, and I know I need that.
Yes.
So doing less. Doing less.
And being okay with it.
And being okay with it. And that's and doing less and closing something, stopping something doesn't mean it was a failure. It just means that
the season is over.
it's over.
You got what you needed. You fed who you needed to feed. And let's move on to the next.
So just being okay with that. So that's what I'm with right now in this new season. I turned 40 in September. So just this is the year
September what?
29th.
Okay.
So I want to know if
you
you're a Libra.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm
that's
a
why I asked
perfectionist.
you.
Yeah.
You're a Virgo.
I'm a Virgo.
You're a Virgo. So that's why I asked you. I said when.
Yeah.
Trying to see. But so for me,
40s are amazing. You just watch. I've been told that 50 is like the number. So I'm doing this thing. I'm calling the road to 50 and sharing things that I'm learning about myself. But there are things that happen in your head in your 40s that are amazing. And you talk about declutter. Some things that are really important to you right now, this time next year, won't matter. It's weird. I don't even know. And then at 46, I'm like, girl, bye. I can't do that. Nope.
Yeah, I mean, even like saying no.
Yeah,
because
it's hard.
You say the year of yes. Believe it or not, I'm such a people pleaser, and so I say yes a lot.
But here's the thing, and I was talking about this earlier too. The year of yes means that there are things that you know that you need to accomplish, right? And so for me, joy and purpose is a priority. So I say yes to those things. I say no to the others. So the year of yes is not saying yes to everything. The year of yes is saying yes to those things that matter because we're more comfortable with yes, which means by default you say no to those things that don't.
Can't wait to get that book.
It's going to be amazing. You have to
because that's something I struggle with.
We all do.
Saying no,
Oh, because we're people pleasers. Like
I know I am. My husband is like, how many birthday parties are you going to go to? Do you have to go to everybody's birthday party? Like every baby shower? Like you can't. You are functioning on 3 hours sleep, but you're trying to be supportive.
Right.
Be there.
You want to be that person, and you don't want anybody to think anything about you. But you have to say yes to you.
That's what he keeps saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what he keeps saying. Well, thank you, Carla.
Thank you for having me. I've enjoyed this.
Good. I mean, every time I'm with her, I'm always blessed. I'm serious. Keep up the amazing work.
Thank
you think you're inspiring women and children who may be struggling, maybe economically, financially, but you're inspiring women who still a force to be reckoned with, but who still need that encouragement and motivation.
Yes, so we all do.
Oh, yes.
We
all
all
the
do.
iron sharpens iron.
Iron sharpens iron. And we have to be the kind of friend that people can be themselves with, and they know there's no judgment, and they know it's not going to be repeated. They just, I try to be the kind of friend that I want people to be to me.
Well, I thank God for this affiliation. Yeah, I thank God for the affiliation because the affiliation is so much a part of the elevation, going to the next level because everybody can't go.
Yeah.
Everybody can't go.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Nikita Ross. This is Carla Lane. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.